How are we doing, students of CSI? Welcome to the second edition of the BannerTalks podcast. When this comes around, you know what's first and foremost. Dolphin and Divers. That is, what's happening in and around campus for the next 2 weeks. As we all know, the usual clubs and board meetings are in full swing, so we'll try to stay away from those for now. If there's anything new and important regarding those, though, of course we will be on top of it. Now that's settled, we do have a rigorous schedule here at the office, and we do have guidelines pertaining to the timeline of what we can inform you, the student, about. But there is an interesting film screening happening on the 26th between 5:30 and 6:30, being shown at the Dolphin Cove South Conference Room. If They Had Known is about, and I quote, the experience of college students who lost a friend from mixing alcohol and prescription meds. Sounds a lot like an after-school special, but in a college setting. Might be worth checking out. But that doesn't reel you in. A PG credit and, well, free pizza probably will. On September 27th, in the Green Dolphin Lounge, we have the 6th Annual Pride Camp coming through. Are you a part of the LGBT community? Are you an ally of the LGBT community? This is an all-day event, 9 to 5 if you want to get specific. So many special features with this one, ladies and gentlemen. We got a keynote speaker workshops, ally training, and a meet and greet with faculty and staff who are part of the community. The Pre-Med, Pre-PA Club in the College of Staten Island is helping to sponsor a walk to raise awareness concerning suicide and depression. The walks are called Out of the Darkness. On September 28th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., this activity will take place at Clove Lakes Park. Clove Lakes Park is located at 1150 Clove Road. Contact the Pre-Med Pre-PA Club for more information. Having trouble academically? Well then, the Steps to Success Warning and Probation Workshop is probably for you. The description on the CSI Connect page for this event says that the speaker will discuss full description of academic standing policy, how to appeal grades, how to prevent academic dismissal, and all the tutoring resources on campus. October 1st, 3 p.m., 1A, room 107. If you think your mountain is getting a bit too slippery, go. Well, this is new. Free dental screening for all students. Of all things, a bit out of left field, but very welcoming. October 2nd, at the Health Center in the cafeteria, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. When dental costs can be quite scary, this is a lifesaver for some. Well, not the candy. That's bad. You get what I'm saying? October 3rd, 2 different events, but at the same time, so take your pick. Electrical Engineering Information Session, Building 2A, Room 103. A student versus faculty volleyball game. Auxiliary gym, both 6 p.m. through 7. And then to wrap up the couple of weeks, we have a Microsoft Word training session on October 5th. Here's a side note. Why are we still tooting the 2013 version? Can we upgrade already? Building 1L, Room 202. 11:30 through 12:30. Learn how to format papers, resumes, and import graphics. October 8th, we have a physical therapy information center in Building 5N, Room 219, 2:30 through 3:30. Discuss what it takes to get the degree with trained professionals, as well as what you need to get into the program in the first place. And that's it for this time around. Let's see what's going on with opinions.
Hey everybody, welcome to the second edition of the Banner Talks. Welcome to the In My Opinion segment. My name is Salvatore Cento, and today I am joined by
Dijon Virgo.
And today we're going to be talking about sort of an intimate topic. It's not something that's in the news. It's not something that's being broadcasted much, but socially we do come across it a lot in any group of friends, in any business setting, in any social setting, and that is, should the truth be said or should it be left alone? Because the truth brings people to a realization, but in the other hand, they get hurt and they might lash out. So, Dejan, where do you stand on that?
That's where I stand. My lashing out.
That's great.
But let's see. I do agree that the truth, can set you free, can do all that. I just think there's a way in how you deliver it. Like we all don't have to have to deliver the truth in the same way. And well, yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, I'm curious about your first main idea. In what ways can we deliver the truth for it to be real but not to be personally offensive?
Well, I think it, for one, depends on who you're telling the truth to. Like, if it's someone who's, just very, sunken down, who's in a bad place, who, is really, maybe on the verge of hurting themselves, you really want to be able to deliver that news, in a truthful way, but also in the best, most delicate way so that they understand, what you're saying, but at the same time, you're not doing it in a way that they feel personally attacked or they feel like you're, I don't know, being mean to them, or if you're isolating them. And yeah,
I can see where you're coming from, but what if the truth that you want to bring across is not on purposely watered down, that they don't see it? You have to sometimes bring it brutally, because that's the only way it works.
Well, here's the thing. Are you trying to, tell them the truth, or are you trying to make them feel, feel the effects that you want them to feel? Because I could say
both.
Yeah, because there's a point to be made that, okay, I could say a truth to you, right? But I could also say a truth to you that really kind of digs at you in a very jugular way, and that, you don't just hear it, but you're supposed to feel it so far deep down that your ancestors in the old country can feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, there's people who are like, oh, I'm just a truth teller, I just tell the truth all the time, and it's like, you're saying that, but do you have to be disrespectful about it?
Oh, no, of course not.
Just because I tell you the truth doesn't mean I have to be disrespectful about it.
Of course not.
I could say your mom, for example, your mom is being a bitch, right? Or I could say, well, your mom is being, mean.
Insensitive, yes. I understand. I understand. Obviously, if you do have to tell the truth in any sort of situation, you don't want to add an extra layer of shade or thickness on top of it. You want to be impartial to what's actually going on. And if somebody comes out and says that you're doing more than that, then I could see how that'd be a problem. But if you need someone to see something, maybe you do need to be a bit brutal, because it all depends on the situation. I agree.
I agree, because there are certain times where I'm just like, well, maybe if this person just gets the brutal, honest truth, or in some cases, me, I just allow life to handle the situation. Sometimes people just have to go through things in order for them to learn, and in order for them to grow, because sometimes you just can't tell people stuff, because sometimes people are just like, they don't want to hear it, they don't want to do it. So that's when, in my opinion, you allow life to teach them, because life would be your biggest teacher in all of this.
I do want to stand with you there, but how long do you stay idle and watch someone bow down to the facade that they give themselves? How long do you just sit by and watch them live in the facade of thinking that they are living a lie, essentially?
Like I said, you could do the best you can.
Wouldn't you feel bad if you saw someone thinking they know the truth but they really don't?
Well,
And how long would you let that go on for?
well, if I know the truth and they don't know the truth, and I see them hurting, well, yeah, I'm gonna want to tell them the truth.
Okay.
Because I don't want anyone like walking around a lie or looking foolish. Because I have a heart. I'm a heartful little boy. I have a heart, so I don't want to see anybody like walking around looking all stupid or whatever. Because I pick up on things. Like I'm a type of person that really sits back and watches everything. And I know a lot of people, so I know a lot of things. So, in that, through my view, in that role, I'm just that person that really just hopefully allows someone to know what's going on if they don't see it. And it should be told, because you don't want anyone to look like a fool.
Okay, so speaking to you right now, when do you cross that line in the sand from being idle to being the person who helps their friend see the truth? Because you did say moments ago that you just observe everything and you don't want to interfere in much.
Basically when I intervene is...
When do you think it is the time to intervene?
I think it's a time to intervene when you know your friend is being played. When you know that there's something going on that you don't like. And so you let that person know what's up. Like we could put this in a relationship, format. What if there's, what if one of your friends who's a guy, likes a girl and the girl doesn't like him that much and he's not getting the message. And so she's walking around saying she doesn't like him, and the guy doesn't realize this, so he's continuously going out of his way to try to impress her. I mean, you're not gonna want to sit there and allow him to look like a fool. You want to be able to say, "Hey, dude, she doesn't like you as much as you think," or you tell him, just go out and just release all your feelings and let's see what happens. But you don't want him to just sit there in a situation thinking he has a chance when he doesn't.
I agree. Sometimes you have to, as much as you shouldn't be put in that position, sometimes you just have to pull the cord for your friend yourself.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just have to do that. And no matter how the person reacts, you'll be there to pick up the pieces, considering you are the friend of that person.
Well, yeah, because that was just, a hypothetical.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, because it was that type of situation is just like, you don't want to see
that type of situation is one of the many examples.
Yeah, but I do think, the truth is better than allowing someone to live a lie.
Yeah.
Like I said, which is why, you don't want someone to live a lie and you are like, well, I know the truth.
So basically, the main point is that we both agree on telling the truth and not letting someone be dragged down by a facade created by themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So that's it for the second edition of the In My Opinion segment. Thank you all for listening, and I would like to say goodbye for now. Dejan.
Thanks for having me, Sal. Always glad to be here. I'll give you a little comedy if you need to. So yeah.
I do appreciate you bringing that in.
Okay.
Goodbye, students.
What's up, guys? This is Danny.
This is Lorenzo.
And this is Talking Sports for the BannerTalks.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. All right, so the first topic I want to talk about today is, what teams for the NBA from last year didn't make the playoffs, and, who was, the best underdogs? Who would you say that? I mean...
To be honest, Danny, and I'm not saying this because you're a Knicks fan, but I kind of honestly think the Knicks might make the playoffs.
I agree, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Knicks fan too. So let's do one team for the East, one team for the West.
Okay.
All right, so we obviously both agree on the Knicks, but why do you think the Knicks, though?
They have a young core. The talent is looking like it's there finally. They signed a couple of signings that look interesting. They have a veteran in Taj Gibson now.
He actually always wanted to be a Knick. I think his dad was a huge Knicks fan or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Who else is really gonna challenge them for that spot. I mean, Washington, can you really depend on Bradley Beal and
Isn't John Wall injured right now?
Exactly. Can you
Yeah.
really depend on them?
You know, Miami. What I like about what they did was they got Jimmy Butler, but what is he doing there? You know, that's what I'm curious about.
You know, I completely forgot about Jimmy Butler.
I know, right? He just posted something on Instagram the other day with him at the Miami practice facility.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was just like, I guess he's getting ready, but like, who knows? Maybe he just wants to be that guy, though.
Yeah, but he's not that guy. Let's be serious.
He tried
over
to be
here.
that guy with Chicago when Rose left and all that.
And
so
he couldn't do
he
it.
couldn't do it.
He had a team in
Minnesota.
He couldn't
And that was
do
a nice
it.
squad.
That was a nice
Philadelphia,
squad.
another nice squad. Oh, I mean, I don't understand. And now he wants to be that all by himself once again.
I think he just wanted to get paid, and he just
That's
enjoys
what
the
I'm thinking.
lifestyle. Miami, I mean, come on. I think it's just more lifestyle to him. If he really wanted to win championships, he would have went to LA. I mean, let's be
Right.
honest here. Speaking of LA, we got the team for the East, the team for the West. It's obvious it's gonna be the Lakers. You know.
Well, I think that's already a given. But, you know, let's think about, like, the other teams. So, I think the Pelicans, you know, I like
Yes,
What
that
they're
was my
doing.
second choice. The
nice
Pelicans.
young core. And I think Zion has a chance to prove himself, you know, in his rookie season. Maybe he could take them to the playoffs. Because the Spurs made it last year. They were 48-34. I don't know. Maybe they can make it again. The Spurs are always, you know.
Yeah, the Spurs are the
capable.
Spurs. Don't forget about DeRozan.
But the Thunder's going to be out. I mean, they like, I don't know what they
Yeah,
did.
they're
but
they're
they're rebuilding.
they're
but
rebuilding, so they're definitely gonna be out. And yeah, I mean, Lonzo Ball as well. He has something to
I
prove.
know he has something to
so
prove now. Now he's like, you know, on this other. Now he's on the Pelicans, and you know, this is a chance to prove himself for sure.
Let's see, man. It's gonna be interesting.
I
Wild
like
Wild
the Mavericks
West.
though. Like I really do.
I don't like the Mavericks. I think Porzingis is probably gonna get hurt again.
I do too.
And
it
the
sucks,
West
but
is
I really
just
like Porzingis
the
though.
West is just too stacked, Danny.
Right.
Too stacked, man. I'm telling you. If you don't have bona fide superstars, you're not really going anywhere.
But I'm saying, like, I think not the Pelicans, the Mavericks have really a good chance to prove themselves, though, because they're still young core. Same thing goes for the Pelicans, but again, it's all a matter of, like, what if, we'll see.
True that.
And
That's true.
injuries always play a factor, and there's always a surprise team. Like, the Kings might have a chance.
That's a
and-
big fact.
Yeah.
Didn't they just sign a point guard? Was it the Kings that signed the point guard from Minnesota? I mean, not Minnesota.
Oh, you're talking about Mike Conley?
Yes,
He went
yes.
to Utah.
He went to Utah.
That
Okay,
was
so
a huge
Utah's gonna
signing.
Utah's
I
gonna
like
be
what
pretty
Utah
good,
did.
man.
Yeah, Utah was already a 5th seed last year. They were 50-32. I mean, I really do like what they're doing, Utah. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. But I wanted to go, because I know we're on the West, but I wanted to go back to, because I didn't get to say my point for the East.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Knicks, I really like what they're doing with Julius Randle, this whole young core. And I
Okay.
really do believe
Who do you think is gonna be the star in the Knicks, though? You think it's gonna be Randall?
Randle, he's the obvious star. I think he's the best player on the team for sure, and he has to carry the team. I think this is he's like, what, I think he's like only 24 right now, so he has to be that guy. Like, I'm not saying like he's going to be like Melo, you know what I mean? But he has to be that guy like where he's trying to prove himself as a star
That's
player.
true.
And there's other guys like RJ Barrett who we just got, you know, from the draft.
He might be a surprise. He might even do better than
he
Randall.
was the 3rd pick, so I mean, I don't think we just got him for no reason. And I could see what you're saying.
What
though.
about the point guard? Do they still have Nikila?
Who?
The point guard, Nilakila, I
Oh,
think
no,
his name is.
right. He's like our 3rd string. He was doing good in France, though.
That's what I'm saying.
He was making somewhat of an impact. He was getting better. He's like in his like 3rd year,
Yes.
and like, you know, I think we have Moutier. No, he left. I forgot. Who am I thinking of right now? Oh my god, I forget my own team. This is crazy. But I like. Oh, no. Dennis Smith Jr. How did I forget?
Yes.
I like him. He's very powerful going to the. Hey, let's use a better term. Like he's very aggressive going into the basket,
Okay.
and I think he has a lot to prove. He's like in his 5th year, 4th year, and you know he has still a lot to work on with his game.
Yeah, man, there's potential there. There's definitely potential in New York.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting because they're going to kind of want to do good, especially with Brooklyn coming up.
I mean, come on.
Did you see the new stadium they built? Oh,
I
my
know, that
God.
was sick, man.
I just want to
It's
jump
like a
in
great
there.
court, like, you know, it's crazy, man. I like that court, but Brooklyn's gonna be crazy though. Maybe not this year, but definitely next year when Durant comes back. If he comes back, the same player he
Yeah.
once was.
Even if he comes back 80% the same play, this dude is going to dominate. It's Kevin Durant. Come on, let's be serious.
Right.
here.
You want to move on to the next topic?
Yeah, man, what you got?
All right, so we could get into like maybe a couple minutes for this. Like, so this is like a topic that was going on for like a month ago, I believe. So it was like is James Harden a better offensive player than Michael Jordan? So you want to go into that?
Yes. I kind of heard about it, and okay, there's two ways I go about this. Is he a better offensive player than Michael Jordan? Yes, technically he is, but Michael Jordan was in an era where the defense was ridiculous.
He tried to get a 3-point shot. I didn't watch him then, but he was trying to.
He was trying, but that era, remember, the 3-point shot, it was basically a bonus, basically. So,
but because there was 3-point specialists, everybody was designated as one.
Everyone had
role.
their role. Now everybody's shooting threes galore.
That's the thing with Jordan. He was like that all-around guy. The only thing he was lacking was his 3-point.
Yes, exactly. My thing with Jordan is Jordan was beyond his era. So Jordan was so great that everybody that he was playing with, they were basically turtles compared to him. If you put him in the era of today, to me, Jordan would still be great. He'd be like Damian Lillard great. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we had like Kobe for the past 20 years.
Yes.
Like he was the guy with the developed 3-point shot, and he was like that Jordan-esque player.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not saying he was Jordan, but he definitely had the same
factual. And James Harden, he just lacks defense, but the way he shoots,
you know what the thing about is he's one of the league leaders in steals. You know, people discredit him when it comes to
that's
defense.
true.
He does, I feel like, try at times.
Yeah,
and
that's
other times
true.
he'll just
He
let
does
a
try.
guy pass by. Same thing goes for Carmelo. Like he'll let people, but he's pretty good in post defense.
He's just crazy.
People I feel like discredit players like Harden and Melo and other players.
True.
But that's just my opinion. But I think I agree. With your statement about James Harden being the better offensive player. But it was two different eras.
Exactly.
James Harden, he has the 3-point game.
The thing with Harden, man, he
has the handles.
Yes, you just sit there and you watch him and you're like,
Michael Jordan didn't really have that. Like he was,
Sometimes he's unstoppable. He can't
miss. Though, I believe Michael Jordan.
Jordan? Jordan had a
like
crossover.
One of those killer crossovers. But
that's the thing with Jordan. Jordan had the killer instinct. Harden is still he hasn't even proven.
I think he has a clutch instinct, Harden. But he's not like Jordan. Like
but the thing with him is like every time you depend on him, he flakes in the playoffs, dude. Like
I know the playoffs. That's where you got to show.
I can't give him a pass for that. Yeah, exactly. I just can't give him a pass. But as far as shooting, he's just ridiculous. He's on another level. I've never seen anything like that.
So yeah, I mean that's basically all I have to say about that. But let's try to get maybe another minute for the Giants game the other day. So I'm trying to get into football, right? And I was watching the Giants because I like the Giants. And I started watching. It was like the second half. Freaking Daniel Jones getting
he killed
touchdowns,
man. 4 touchdowns.
I know, man.
Dude, I was watching a stat where he had 2 touchdowns and 2 running touchdowns. And
at the end, he had he ran for 10 yards, and they won the game.
Yeah.
And luckily, the guy missed the field goal.
Exactly.
And that was crazy. And that was his first NFL start.
And mind you, he had 2 running touchdowns, right? Eli Manning in his entire career had 5.
There was a statistic after that game. He was the first. He was the only in his first game. Like he had the huge comeback. Eli Manning never did that in his.
I'm telling you, never did that. I mean, let's see, man. Part of it has to do because nobody knows who he is or how he plays. Right. So the defense wasn't ready for him, or nobody was ready for him. But another part is like, let's hope he's the spark that the Giants need, because man, they've been so bad for so long. And I hope they turn it around. I mean,
they're 1-2 right now. They still have a long way to go, and it's Daniel Jones guy is pretty freaking good.
Yeah, let's hope they turn it around, man. For sure. I'm excited for the Giants.
Yeah, me too, man. I know you want to talk about something else.
Oh yeah, one last thing, man. It's been on media all over the internet, all over the sports networks and everything. Antonio Brown. Okay, so Antonio Brown managed to basically blow $37 million in 1 week. What kind of people do you have talking to you?
Do you want to give some type of backstory?
He was signed to the Raiders,
right?
And he didn't want to be there, so he made a spectacle, a clown show, to get out of there. So basically, his money was guaranteed. $30 million were guaranteed, and he just didn't want to be there. He didn't care about the money, so boom, they got rid of him. He lost his $30 million. Literally a couple hours later, he got picked up by the New England Patriots, and all he had to do was just stay there 2 days. I think Monday was when he was supposed to get paid $5 to $7 million, and he couldn't even do that. So he just blew $37 million just because he just ranted on social media about this alleged rape case and
This is all the matter of like this whole summer, this whole month.
this whole summer. This is a matter of a week.
I know.
So can you imagine it? And you know, you have people like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. They just they're just telling him, you're embarrassing yourself. You're making the league look stupid.
And
you're making yourself look stupid.
Over like after like 2 weeks.
Exactly, man.
And he's not even gonna play for the NFL anymore.
And the crazy part about it, Danny, is that he's gonna regret, or he's gonna sit back in a couple of days, a couple of months, a couple of years, and he's gonna regret everything he did. So now he's out of the league. He's dealing with this case. And it's just stupidity. It goes to show you, man, when you're privileged, you just think stupid sometimes. And I wish him the best of luck, but
I mean, he was a great player.
he was absolutely amazing player, man. And look, he played one game with New England, and everybody already penciled him in to win the championship.
Right.
That's how good he is.
I mean, I feel like they still have them penciled in.
Exactly, but still, it was a guaranteed lock. It was
Right,
like
right.
basically Golden State last year, basically type of lock. So it's just like, dude, you messed up, and let's see where his career goes from there. But
I mean,
you just
he's
can't
not
be
going
doing
to play for the
stupidness
NFL
like
anymore,
that.
so I guess we'll see about
Yeah,
that.
exactly. He's gonna regret it, Danny. I'm telling you, he's gonna regret saying all that stuff. I'm telling you that.
I mean, I agree, man. I agree.
So there, man. There you go, guys.
There we have it, guys. So I'm Danny.
I'm Lorenzo.
This is Talking Sports from the Banner Talks. We're signing now. See you on the next one.
Later.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Between the Stripes with Dijon and
Chermo.
yeah. So today we're gonna talk about two topics. We're gonna talk about Brexit and South Africa. So today is gonna be a very foreign policy episode.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Chermo, you want to start with South Africa?
So recently in South Africa, there's been xenophobic attacks on foreign nationals, mostly from African countries, because the South Africans, they think like the foreign national is still in their job. It's basically the same thing in the U.S. where with the Mexican, they're stealing everybody's jobs.
They took our
Yeah,
jobs.
they took our jobs. It's the same thing with the South Africans. So they're they have been killing people. Actually, they have been killing people, burning people alive, like chopping down machetes and stuff like that. And basically, the South African government response to this has been like a disaster, in a sense. It hasn't been like an appropriate response.
So these are immigrants that are being
Yes,
Yeah,
foreign
and
nationals.
and they are coming from neighboring
Neighboring
African countries.
Yeah, so like from Nigeria, from Rwanda, from Zimbabwe, even like South Africa. There'll also be like an economic conference in South Africa with like Rwanda, Uganda, and countries like that.
Oh, because it's like an African Union.
Yeah, it's like an African. It's more like it's not the African Union conference. It's more like the economic cooperation conference or political cooperation conference. And Rwanda just did not come to that conference. They what would you call it? Boycott the conference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically. So all because of what's going on in South Africa.
Yeah. So like, South Africa is sort of like a hot topic. Well, I wouldn't say a hot topic, but a lot of people like to talk about it and look at it as like, a genocide of, I guess, white people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say a lot of like white landowners are losing their land.
Yeah.
To the government, and sort of like what happened in Zimbabwe when they
Rhodesia and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is crazy stuff.
It's like with the problem with South Africa, it stems from apartheid. Because during apartheid is like during apartheid, what the white government failed to do was educate the black community. So now we're starting to see the ramification of that. Because back during right now, the South African government is forced to import labor from other countries that has more skill than their own population labor.
Yeah, because like I know a lot of urban places are not looking the best. They're kind of looking a little bit beat down, and it stems from lack of economic opportunity.
Yeah.
In the country, and there's kind of I guess an economic gap between the more white landowners and the other black people in the country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, particularly when universities and all that stuff like dominated by mostly white people in the country. You know, not a lot of, I guess, equity is what you can call it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. The white population have, I think it was between 30 to 40% of the income in the country. Like, just the white population, and they're like a small group compared to the black population in South Africa.
Yeah,
I think it was some number like that. I believe so.
Yeah, because I know like Trump tweeted out like, I think probably a year ago, maybe more, that, you know, he's eyeing the situation in South Africa very closely. You know.
And I actually wrote an article in the banner about this, about because I think it was like last spring.
Yeah.
Last year spring. It was I wrote an article about the recession that's going on in South Africa, because South Africa was facing a recession like during 2018. So that's also like a cause of what we see today going on as well.
Yeah, I think I read that actually. That's probably one of the first political articles I read. You know, that was like, okay, maybe I should start writing for the Banner.
Yeah, with the South African article.
Yeah, that that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because I actually, like, in my class today, we was talking about, like, you know, populism and, you know, sort of the rise of it in Africa particularly. You know, and they talked about South Africa, and they talk about some of these rulers who are like, you know, I'm against the elite. I don't like the elite. You know, we need to either, you know, take back the land from like the white landowners and kind of distribute it a little bit more equitably amongst basically everyone, and, you know, kind of lift people out of poverty and all that stuff.
Yeah. And and also the international response to this whole situation hasn't been like what I think it should have been. It should have been like the sanction of South Africa, because the South African government seemed like they wasn't encouraging it, but they wasn't doing that. They were just indifference towards it. They didn't care about it, what was going on. It was an indifference, and I feel like countries should just sanction them. And like for example, the president of Nigeria, for example, he didn't really do nothing. He just tweeted out, "Oh, I don't like what's going on in South Africa." You should have put a sanction on it, because they was also killing Nigerians in South Africa as well.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
And the police was helping the rioters kill people.
yeah, I think like a lot of Western nations, like, you know, United States, the EU,
Yeah.
etc., was telling South Africa, listen, you know, we will sanction you. You'll be similar to, you know, Zimbabwe, because they sanctioned Zimbabwe after they seized the land, and for other reasons, but, you know, that was like one of the main reasons. And, you know, South Africa doesn't really need the sanctions right now.
Yeah.
You know, they can use as many economic opportunities coming into the country as possible right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So another topic that's like very, very recent in the news is the never-ending saga of Brexit.
Oh my God.
You know, it's been over 3 years since they voted to leave the EU, and they still are in the EU.
I feel like this has been going on for an indefinite time now.
It is, but everything is getting really stretched to like just the constitutional boundaries of the UK. Because one thing about the UK that's different from the United States is that its constitution is, the way that it's governed is basically...
They don't have a written constitution.
Yeah, they don't have a written constitution. They go based on tradition and precedent, you know, going back like a long time ago to the kings and the monarchs and all that stuff.
Magna Carta, English Bill of Rights, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so what's happening right now is that, of course, Boris Johnson became prime minister. Theresa May left. And he was like, basically, Brexit, do or die, October 31st. That's it.
Yeah.
So what happened was that, you know, he decided recently to prorogue Parliament, which is basically send them on a session for 5 weeks. And that's like one of the longest prorogations in like modern British history. And with that, there was like this huge fight over whether or not he can do it. Because some people, mainly the oppositions, are saying, well, he's just doing this to kind of push Parliament out of the way so that he can ram through no deal Brexit.
Nah. But he don't even like he's starting to see how bad Brexit is. He only did that for like his political career, like Boris Johnson. So
yeah, I think the one of the old conservative prime ministers, David Cameron, was basically saying, oh, how Boris Johnson told him this is all just so he could further his career. This was he didn't think Brexit would actually happen.
Yeah.
You know,
but when it did happen, he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he does not know what to do.
He promised, I think it was like $5 billion will go towards like the healthcare system in the UK. I think that was one of his promises, like because the UK was sending the EU money that they could take away from the EU if they leave. Or is it 300 million, something like that?
Like basically they put it on a bus and that was a lie.
Yeah.
and like a lot of people were just misled about that. But you know, it's really just crazy because that whole prorogation went to the courts, and the Supreme Court of the UK, who has 11 justices, not 9, 11, they basically all unanimously said that prorogation was unlawful, and basically null and void. So Parliament is going to be going back into session, like I'm pretty sure tomorrow.
Yeah, so they can further debate this EU crisis. But how, like, it's just so scary to see how this is gonna like how it's gonna play out, because it's just we never lived in the world where the UK was not part of the EU, and how is trade, boundaries, all these things gonna play out? Like,
that is the question.
How is all of this? Because there's gonna be I think there might be a global economic recession or like a little downturn if they once this deal go through.
Yeah, like especially if there's no deal.
Oh yeah, there's no deal. Oh,
you know, chaotic. And you see like other things like China slowing down. Like this is sort of what we're worried about here in the United States. But you know, but you're right. This has serious implications, and a lot of people are saying there's gonna be food shortages and all this other stuff. And then get into another long topic about the Northern Ireland border.
Oh, Northern Ireland.
Yes, and that, and no one wants a hard border back there, but you know,
it is what it is. It just has to be. It's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster. It's just gonna be. Yeah. It's not gonna be something that's.
Boris Johnson has no options left. Like literally.
And he had no plan because he didn't know this was gonna happen.
Exactly.
he
because it's like there's a law that was passed before prorogation started that said, okay, if there's not a deal during this time, you have to ask for an extension, or you have to ask Parliament for no deal, and Parliament doesn't want to do a no deal, so he's probably gonna have to get a deal or extend it. But he's like, he'd rather die in the ditch than ask for an extension.
Yeah.
So he either has to find some type of deal or resign. And you know, he gave it a shot. Maybe he should just resign. He gave it a shot.
It's time to elect a new parliament in the UK, because the Conservatives don't know what they're doing. What they call them, the Tories or something?
Yeah, they call them the Tories.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. They need to like put some like Jeremy Corbyn in there or something like that.
Yeah, well, but a lot of people do not like Jeremy Corbyn at all.
That too, so it's like, I don't know. The whole Brexit thing is just confusing. It's perplexing.
Yeah, I wrote. Like, I think there's multiple articles in the Banner about Brexit, because I'm pretty sure I wrote 2 of them last semester, and now I got one out for the first issue. It's like, whew. Yeah. So much happened during the summer. Yeah, but this is interesting. We'll keep in touch with all the developments on Brexit, on South Africa, and yes. So thank you all for listening. This has been Between the Stripes with Dijon
and Chermo.
And thank you guys for listening.